Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the new documentary, Jonathan Agassi, Saved My Life. And this is a documentary focusing on Jonathan Agassi, one of the most renowned gay porn stars. And this documentary takes a very, very intimate look into his life, his career, his relationship with his mother, and his destructive habits that almost take it all away. And this is from director Tomer Heymann. And the first thing that you realize very quickly is, like, this documentary doesn't pull too many punches. Even when it's displaying some of the pornography that Agassi's a part of. Like, obviously, they don't show anything too explicit, but doesn't cut away from much. And so, just trigger warning, if you're not into that, and also, this is about a gay porn star, so if you're not expecting there to be like pornography, then I think you might be in the wrong place. But they do have all of those moments. They have a lot of details of like behind the scenes kind of stuff, and also some of like the darker things and like the expectation of what they have to do. And there's one particular thing of like having to do this injection that is extremely painful afterwards, but like it makes you erect for 4 hours, and those kinds of things, to be able to do some of the events that they have these expectations for. And you really get to see how this industry had broken this man down to the point where he becomes a horrible drug addict, which we witness. It gets to the point where he is so intoxicated that the cameraman and like the documentarians, like, they hop in and like engage with him because they're afraid for his life. And that kind of break of the fourth wall really tears down the feeling of this film, just being like you're really a part of this and you're really watching this man destroy himself. And I think that's where the emotions really hit in this film, is when you realize like how real this really is. And you have him dealing with these drugs, you have him dealing with his insecurities about like trying to have his own relationships and the expectations that people have of him because he is this porn star, and what they expect out of him in their intimate sexual relations is part of their sex lives and their relationships. And you have his relationship with his mother, which they have a very close relationship, which is very interesting. And you get to learn a lot about the trauma of like involving his father and his mother's life, and it's intriguing. There's a lot of great perspective when it comes to his life, his childhood, his relationship with his parents, and him splitting his life between Berlin and Israel. And you get so much perspective into this man's life. And, you know, it's a bit messy in terms of how it's all pulled together, and that's probably my biggest gripe with the film, is because it's trying to do too much and sometimes it feels a little aimless. But there's so much great material here that's emotional and poignant and has plenty to say, and Agassi just leaves it all out there. This is a raw nerve, like this exposed nerve, just out there, vulnerable for all of us to see. And we sit there and we take it in, and it's kind of it's uncomfortable, it's emotional, and it's raw and very visceral. And this documentary is really impressive in that way. So Heymann does a fantastic job in terms of pulling the emotion of it all, even if the structure of it all isn't always tight. But Agassi just is such a fascinating figure who puts himself out there that it's hard not to be compelled by this film. But those are my thoughts on Jonathan Agassi Saved My Life. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.